What's up, internet? My name's Ori. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. You like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. You'll never miss a video. You'll never miss a stream. Today is Monday, August 8th, day 34 inside the Big Brother house. We had a lot to kind of talk about. There's the episode that happened last night where we saw the nominations and the HOH, which there's some fun stuff to talk about from that as well. And then we had the live feeds, which they had booze last night, so they were a little bit rambunctious. There was some jailer updates, and then also just kind of business as usual. Everybody kind of scheming and planning. One side of the house thinks they have everything under control when they really don't. And we're going to break it all down for you. But let's start off with the episode. We finished the last episode with Daniel just kind of having a meltdown when Nicole left the house. And it continued in this episode right in the beginning, saying how no one's here to play Big Brother and calling out Monte and Michael, saying, there's your final two, there's your winners, you know, like, Monte, congrats, man, you're going to the final two, brother, like, yeah, like, dude, chill out, relax. What I kind of loved was Daniel was acting exactly how they kept telling people Taylor would act. Oh, she's emotional and she's going to make a scene and she'll do this and that. Who's the one doing it? Who's the one doing it? Proving once again who they really are. It was Daniel. He was just so upset that Monte told him. He's like, listen, don't use that veto. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm telling you, man. And Monte's like, did we not have a conversation? Did we not? Like, and now you want to try and blow it up in front of the house, so I have to say it in front of Indy and Alyssa that I told you not to use the veto? Okay, I see how it is. I see how it is. Telling everybody he manipulated them into doing it. It was really kind of something to see Daniel just completely lose it. And I think Monte did a really good job of just being like, okay, Daniel, all right, and just kind of being the bigger person, like smiling at him and be like, okay. Like, it is what it is. Like, if you want to have a conversation alone, we could do that, but you want to do it here? Okay. And that pretty much takes us right into the HOH competition. It was that balance beam competition where there's multiple paths. You can go the short way, but the beams are real thin, and there's a longer way that's more complex, but it's wider. And first person to go was Daniel, and he kind of crushed it. He got 16 seconds. He went down the shortest path, and it was like, whoa, that could be a big time to beat. The very next person is Michael, who crushes it even more, nailing 11 seconds, 1170 something. So he was much faster. And after that, everyone was just like, all right, well, we either just try our best or we'll see what happens. Jasmine maybe got 2 steps in with her boot before she just time ran out. But the real story was Turner giving his all. He went 150%, even though he's like, look, Michael's got it, everything's kind of cool, I still want it, I'll give it a shot. And he went so hard, face planting mid-air. It was a wild wipeout from Turner, but he seems like he's okay. Very resilient kid he is. He just hopped right back up. He's like, I'm good. We're good. We're still good. Everything's fine. So that was the HOH. Michael won it. Just kind of dominated it compared to everybody else. No one really had a chance once he set that high bar to beat. Also, I really loved the Pooch and Ameerah cutouts holding the talkie bags. There was just something about seeing them with their faces like that holding their bag. Like, ooh, what's going on? Other than that, we did get a lot of filler during the episode. We saw some old footage of Kyle hitting Jasmine's foot and her just being like, oh no, my foot. We also saw a little make-out session from Kyle and Alyssa. They included fireworks over the top of it, which was a little much. And then we also got Muffingate, the great muffin war of BB24. Yes, anybody who's been following my channel, follow me over on Twitter. I've been talking about muffingate. Here's the thing that I love about muffingate. Not the idea of like, oh, this is a fun thing. It's the idea that Turner ate that shit and he's like, yeah, I'm glad I did. I just loved Turner's like, yeah, I ate it. I'm not telling her, but I ate it. They didn't go into all the stuff that happened after the next day with Muffingate, where people were messing with Jasmine even more. Turner like put it in the freezer. It went to even more of an extreme level. But Jasmine was so mad watching her go up the stairs. These house guests, I hate them. I gotta make sure it don't blow up. Too great. We did see Monte and Joseph kind of having the conversation. Like, yeah, I mean, it just kind of makes sense if we go up, have the back door be Daniel, right? It's less of a chance that he's going to win veto, and we can kind of troll things. And also, it builds trust, right? Like, we should do our part for the alliance. Everybody else has been doing... We know Taylor's been doing enough for the alliance, so why don't we, do our part? Wish everybody in the leftovers had that opinion. Kyle. So we saw that. Then Daniel made his pitch to Michael, being like, "Look, I'm not coming after you. Like, we're good." But Michael really wasn't having much of it. He was like, "All right, well, I still want to keep you as a backdoor option. That's staying on the table." And then we did have Michael and Brittany have a conversation where they talked about like, look, how do we get to the end with this strong group? Like Monte, Joseph, Taylor, Kyle, like they're all really strong players. Turner, we'll include Turner in there too. I love Turner, but I don't know. He seems like he's willing to throw his body on the line to win a competition. So yeah, I guess that is a threat. Yeah, just the whole idea of like, how do we get to the end with this group? When is the right time to make a move? Is it now? If we do it now, like, where do we stand? Will we have them coming at us and the other side coming at us? Because at the end of the day, that other side, like, even if they want to pull them in, they're still going to be bottom of the totem pole if they went over there, right? Like, they would still be the low end on that side. So do you send out the easy target of Daniel so that you can say, like, look, I was just completely over his blow up and I just wanted to kind of make things smooth, and then let somebody else take those shots at Monte? Because if Indy or Alyssa or Jasmine or Terrance won, they probably would, based on what they said this week. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out in the weeks coming. But then the episode ended with pretty much the standard. The nominees were Monte, Joseph, and Terrance, which we already knew about. But that is how we ended the episode. And they kind of let it vague. Like, maybe it will be Monte who goes. Maybe he will be the target. But as we know from the feeds, that's probably not going to be the scenario coming tomorrow, actually, which is the veto ceremony. Speaking of which, tomorrow I will be live over on Twitch, kind of talking about what's going on afterwards with the veto ceremony and how things have kind of played out, what the aftermath is like, if everybody's freaking out. Might be some good feeds to check out. So if you're not following me on Twitch, make sure you head on over, twitch.tv/OriStreams. I'll be live over there. So come on and hang out in the chat. Also, let's get into the live feeds. So there was a few things that happened throughout the day, and most of it was just your typical scheming and campaigning. The blind side is still set up for tomorrow. There was some talk about Michael maybe filling them in tonight, or I should say last night, about what was happening, but it doesn't seem like that's what he's going to do. He might talk to them in the morning today and kind of get an idea of where people's heads at, with his whole thing being like, look, you guys came to me with this plan to keep it the same, and then nobody followed up. So I don't know. So I just went with it and used the veto. Also, everyone's still kind of hurting from the veto competition as well. Otev really did a number on people. Terrance was feeling sore. Turner has a bum knee that was kind of bothering him. Brittany, we talked about, has gotten stitches in her knee, so she's like, look, I'm just gonna wrap that thing up when I have the comp, and they're gonna make it so I can move it and just go for it. So everybody's kind of being a trooper about it, but it did definitely put some people on the injured list for right now. Jasmine and Terrance made their campaigns to continue to try and throw Monte under the bus and make sure that the veto can stay the same. They were talking to pretty much everyone from Joseph to Turner to Taylor to Kyle. They were all kind of doing their pitches. A couple of things that were interesting during their pitches. So Jasmine kept saying, like, yeah, you know, is Daniel really the right person to go after right now? Like, everybody kind of, you know, is ostracizing him in the house, and he's not really a threat really anymore. He doesn't really have anybody. And she's like, you know, I just hate when people are done like that and they're judged. And you're talking to Taylor. Like, of all people, of all the people in the house, Jasmine, you're saying you don't like to see people judged and ostracized when you're talking to Taylor. Complete loss for words on that one. Just, I don't understand that. Terrance also had 2 talks with Joseph and Turner, like, individually, and both of them were just like, oh, that's a good move. Yo, that's a good move. Let's do, okay, that's a big game move. Hey, if the numbers are there and that's what people want to do, like, okay, if that's the plan, like, what do you think the chances are that it happens? Are like real good. They're going to stay the same. Both of who went and just filled in everybody else in the leftovers about what was going on. There was also something that was kind of interesting too that I thought was like, really? He kind of implied that Monte and Indy are a much stronger showmans and more of a threat than Kyle and Alyssa. What? Like, first of all, the Monte Indy showmans? This is news to me. This is some news to me, but apparently that's how Terrance sees things. Speaking of showmances, Kyle and Alyssa, most of the day they were actually kind of like staying a little separate. You know, Alyssa talked to Jasmine last night, and she was like, I don't know, like, he's 30 years old, he lives with his mom, he makes like TikTok dances with her. I don't know, like, what am I doing here? But, you know, at the end of the day, they ended up having their makeout session. They went up to the have-not room. Hey, tonight might be the night. Tonight might be the night for Kyle, but we'll see. And also, on the showman's end, they did get some booze tonight. People were drinking. They were having a good old time. The boys, when they initially found it, were like, yo, let's just keep this. Can we just drink it all right now and then just be hammered? And everybody's like, what is going on? But no, they shared it with everybody. Turner, my boy, he was like, yo, let's shotgun some beers. And everyone was just like, eh. I would have been right there with you, Turner. Like, let's go out to the backyard. Let's shotgun some beers, do some Stone Cold Steve Austin, boom, chug, and like get into it. But yeah, it was kind of a fun little party atmosphere that they had going on the feeds. There wasn't too much game talk until later in the night when everybody kind of went to bed. Michael and Brittany kind of got together and they continued to kind of talk about, like, yeah, you know, they are threats, but I just don't think it's the right time. Let's stick with the plan. I'll kind of try and get everybody on board with all that, and we'll see how it is. The others actually were having a conversation about Terrance and how much, like, they're hurt by how he's acted and what he's done. They kind of felt like he was like a cool uncle. And then now he's just going around throwing Taylor under the bus last week to Joseph to try and get her out instead of Nicole. Now throwing Monte under the bus. And they're like, really? Like, we thought we were cool. But apparently not. And then also another thing that was kind of interesting. There was a very, I don't want to say heated, but it was an intense conversation between a lot of the house guests, mainly Alyssa, Monty, Joseph, Turner was there, Indy was there. There were a lot of them there. But it was all about whether men and women can be friends. And just friends. Alyssa does not believe so. She said, no matter what, there's always feelings, at least on one side. She's like, if we're best friends, if we're calling every day, like, we're not going to be best friends for long, I'll tell you that. I really bring this up, though, for the main thing, because this is where I went. Turner, once again, proven he's one of my favorite house guests now. He has Turner, his opinion. He's like, okay. BB and Joey. Bringing out the Friends reference. Phoebe and Joey, could they be a thing? When you bring out the Friends reference, that was the nail right there. I think he won that argument. But yeah, that was the feeds. Pretty much everything should be going with a blindside for the Veto tomorrow. Half the house thinks it's not going to be used. Other than the leftovers, they're all aware of the plan. But yeah, it should be interesting feeds tomorrow after the ceremony. So make sure you follow me over on Twitch. You can come hang out. We'll kind of talk about the aftermath and everything going on. Maybe we'll play a few games. We'll see how things go with the stream. But I want to thank you all for watching. Yesterday I was going to be actually streaming over there, but I had a massive headache. And it was great actually when I posted a little update. You guys were all so supportive. I'm like, yeah, take care of yourself, relax. So I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate all the support I've been shown over the past few weeks here on the channel. So I want to thank you guys all so much. But once again, my name has been Ori. If you guys have made it all the way to the end of this video, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new here, and hit that notification bell so you'll always see when I post a video, and you will always get a notification when I go live. Also, there will be links in the description for my Twitter, for my Discord. I have a Discord as well. If you want to head on over there, you can join that and join the conversations over there as well. And as always, I will see you next time.